So, welcome everyone to our second session of Lucita's 6. As you all remember, last week our newly gathered vampires were tasked to save one of their own, a Brujah upstart named Claudette. And now they are tasked with what is the most cliche of all cliche heists. They have to break into the Louvre to steal a big ass diamond. We left last session while they were making their plans, and we are picking up now the day after. So first, let's do some housekeeping. Did anyone spend willpower last session?
Oh god, yes.
Oh yeah, you spent like 2 or 3, right?
Yes.
I think I used one.
Yeah, you can heal a number of willpower equal to either resolve or composure, whichever is the highest.
Okay, so yeah, I can definitely get rid of one, no problem.
Yeah, this is not for aggravated willpower damage, but I don't think anyone is. And then, as you wake up the next day, I need everyone also to roll a rouse check. Also, Claudette,
Hi.
as far as I remember, you also had aggravated
I
damage.
had one
don't you?
aggravated, yeah. So after I rouse, I guess I'll see if I can't heal that, which I know is a whole process.
Yes, let me quickly look up what that would take.
It's 3 additional rouse checks, and
Yeah, I
it's
believe.
not optional.
So rouse to wake up,
Damn, did we all just no one got hungry?
no one's hungry. Okay, and then you want me to rouse 3 more times, and if I
Yes.
fail, it doesn't heal, right?
No, if you fail, it does heal. It's just you get hungrier because it takes
Gotcha.
a lot more of your energy to mend aggravated damage.
All right. First, okay.
Nice.
Second, oof. Okay, I'm hungrier. That means it automatically happens, right?
Yep.
Or do I need to roll a 3rd time?
No,
You
you
still
do
roll
need to
3.
roll 3 times.
Oh man, I'm good. I'm healed, but I am peckish.
How much hunger are you on it?
I'm at 3.
Okay. So, as you all open your eyes, you find yourself still in Lucita's private jet. Some of you may have holed up into like the luggage carrier space underneath. Some of you might have slept in the like the seats that can be sort of converted to beds. But each and every one of you has found like some sort of space to spend the day. And then the next day you wake up. Some of you might have gotten hungrier, some not. Claudette, as you look at your wrist, you see you have successfully healed damage that was done to you yesterday. But the memory is still there.
I would say
And,
Claudette is she wakes up just slightly less than ravenous, you know? She's very hungry and she knows it's because of what her body had to do while she was sleeping, and since that apparently was not Alexandra, she is now piqued in curiosity to find out exactly who sidelined her yesterday in such an egregious way.
Okay. Yeah, you wake up. Well, let's say this is winter, so let's say little past 8 maybe. And you know the Elysium you are going to attend starts at 9 p.m. But the night is young and the night is yours. So you can go about your night as you wish. What does happen during the first moments is that Lei returns very early, carrying a little box, which she gives to Lucita, and Lucita then gathers you and hands it to you. You know that this is the box you are supposed to carry the Le Région in when you eventually steal it, because it has all kinds of magical properties that are unkind to Kindred.
Well, I think first thing that Claudette's gonna do is go to Lucita and do the kiss on each side of the cheek thing, you know, that one does. She'll be like, I hope that you slept well during the day. I find that it was a very fitful rest for me, and if there's anything to eat, I would be much appreciative.
Unfortunately, the only mortals I keep around is my pilot, and, well, for safety reasons, I would prefer not to replace him.
Behave myself. I would never tread on your toes in such a way. He would enjoy the experience.
I am sure he would, but I suggest you either find someone to feed off of, or partake in whatever is provided at the Elysium.
As you say.
Whichever seems more prudent to you.
Elysium, if I'm to attend, perhaps I would like to be a little more dressed for the occasion. Do you have anything in my size?
Please, Claudette, look at me. I am I have fashion out of the wazoo. Feel free to raid my closet for now.
And she does, which is what she'll be doing while everything else is happening with everyone else.
Yeah, meanwhile, I think Marco would be probably like rising out of the ground, but coming through from the cargo hold below, like coming up through into the space above, sort of back to it again. And just sort of, looking around and just, taking in the silence of, where did everybody go? Where is everybody else?
Yeah, where does everyone wake up? Where have you found a place to sleep in this little private jet plane? Marco found its place in the cargo hold.
Mhm.
The rest of you.
Am I right in thinking that I actually have my own room on this plane?
Like Lucita has a
I think I have the law sheet jet setter, so I have.
I think
not
Jet
fresh in
better
mind.
to make this so that you can travel. I don't necessarily know if it has.
Jet said you find it easy to travel internationally so long as you're able to use your own jet. You and your
Coterie.
coterie, thank you, may do once per story. By default, you get 1 extra use per story for each additional level of this lore sheet you possess. In Lucita 6, this means you could travel separate from the rest of the crew or even provide an alternative means of escaping the country when things get dangerous.
Oh, cool.
But I mean, it would probably make sense that Hurricane, if you were brought here on the jet, you've probably carved out at least a little area for yourself, kind of like dibs.
Like a nest.
Yeah, I think it's like, it's not comfortable, and it's basically like a utility closet up in the front somewhere. But you're like surrounded by the hum of like machinery and radios and whatever else.
Yeah, it's definitely not comfortable in the sense of like human comfortable. But yeah, as you say, it is just, there's small bits of machinery everywhere. There's definitely a desktop setup and several monitors, and he probably sleeps in his chair, which is probably quite unsettling for anyone to see during the day. But as he rouses and wakes up, he just immediately goes straight into information gathering mode. And yeah, we'll try and work out the kind of security setup of the Louvre, but from a social engineering standpoint as opposed to anything else. So he'll look at like LinkedIn to figure out who actually works there, get names, and he'll then look at like their social media profiles and try and get images of what their uniforms might look like and what their badges might look like. We'll probably try to use Photoshop and copy the designs of a few.
Yeah, roll me a intelligence investigation check, please, to see just how much you are able to ascertain about this.
5 successes.
5 successes. Yeah. Well, the first thing you do is you go on LinkedIn and you find like a couple of people that work in like security positions. And you do notice as you basically stalk their social media profiles that they seem to have been there for, let's say, maybe 20 years. But they don't look a day older than when they started.
Ghouls. Great.
So yeah, you do notice that at least some of the security personnel there are ghouls. the information you had from Lucita, you also know that Victor Bisset, the keeper of Elysium for Prince Fillon, also makes his sort of haven at the Louvre. It's his personal domain.
Okay. That changes things.
Apart from that, you are able to ascertain certain things. You know, there are like security cameras all over the place. As you can see on like touristy pictures, you might even be able to sort of put together a map as to how the security cameras are covering what. And you know, there are plenty of other things as well, like emergency armor plating on the windows that can come down, as you know, like in the movies. You just like you push a button and everything shuts down.
While looking at LinkedIn, can I determine if they have like an in-house IT team, or do I get a sense that it's a third party that deal with it?
You think it's basically the Louvre itself that arranges this. It's no outside security. It's they themselves that do the hiring.
I'll do the same for anyone who has like an IT title or IT adjacent title. So like look at their LinkedIn, stalk their social media, and again, just look for images of them at work and get a sense of how they're dressing, what kind of lanyards they wear, what color the lanyards are.
I will say you are able to gather most of that. That you cannot find any sort of images of the control room itself, where the security itself happens. That's something that's apparently pretty closely guarded. But you are able to sort of ascertain uniforms, lanyards, things like that. That's not a problem.
I will try and get as close as I can to what they wear.
Yeah, I will say, make me an intelligence and craft roll, just to sort of see how well you're able to manage this.
Again, this is a really good dice pool for me.
Yeah, you
Not bad at all. Or not bad at all.
Yeah, you think you're able to create a possible fake. You know the barcodes that are on there won't necessarily scan in the security system there, but at least visually, it's you think it's dead on.
That is quite okay. It just needs to look the part. So yeah, I'll kind of have that ready to go. On my phone as well, I'll attach it essentially looks like just a fancy phone case, but it's actually an RFID scanner. So I can essentially pick up any kind of like badge scans and copy them within like 3 feet of where I'll be.
Yeah.
So I actually asked my friend who does pen testing what they would do to break into the Louvre, and there was another thing he said to do, and I'm forgetting it.
You know, think about it for a while we move on to.
Sorry.
I need to get friends like that.
To Joe. What would Vance do as he wakes up? Where did he go to sleep?
Oh, he probably just slept like upright in a chair, like very weirdly tucked in with a blanket. He would probably. He's pretty confident for some reason because he's known in the art world. He can just walk in basically to this thing and be accepted. Everything else is on hurricane basically. So he's not. They're not feeling much pressure. I think they would just like be sketching Claudette. I think they've been very obsessed with Claudette since seeing her, and just so it would be a very creepily just staring and drawing at Claudette. They're intrigued by beauty, and I think one of the actual quote is, the first quote on it is like, oh, I'm interested in your bone structure. And I was like, I'm not going to say something weird like that. That's
I mean, it does kind of make sense. Claudette does have the stunning merit.
Yes.
Meaning
I've
she's-
rank 4 stunning.
Yeah, I think 2 is beautiful and 4 is stunning.
I've got 2.
What that basically means is, I think you get a 2 dice bonus whenever like your beauty is part of the check, I guess.
So they would just be doing a little creepy sketch in the corner,
Okay.
staring.
Good. And then finally, Kole. Jess, what would she? Where would she have gone to sleep, and how would she wake up?
She probably would have just like laid out like a roll mat that she had in her duffel bag along the plane corridor. Like it's all very military. She's got like military issue roll mat, sleeping bag, pillow. Everything is very specific, very routine looking. It's all habit based. Like every action she has done is very predictable for getting ready for bed as a human would. But it's kind of unnecessary for her to do, but she does it anyway just because that's kind of what's instilled in her. She'll have had like a very good internal clock that she set up for herself over over a few years of training. So it's literally as soon as the sun goes down, she's up and packs away all her stuff neatly, and then starts to very carefully and very considerately take out a couple of her guns from her bag, takes them apart and cleans every single part of the guns with military focus and without missing a single part of the gun. Even the bits that she lays out are just like laid down neatly in front of her in a very specific looking pattern and whatnot, and she's very focused on the task in hand. Will kind of look at people as they wake up, but won't stray from the task that she has set for herself. She is very seemingly comfortable with the mission coming forward. She doesn't seem to be nervous in the slightest. It's just, it's going to happen and it's got to be done. And that's how she is.
Okay, very, very different sort of things. So, from there, are there any more things you would like to do before you get on the road to join the Elysium? Or are there any things you want to do before you head to the Elysium? That's also...
Do we all reconvene around the table and have a quick discussion before we head out, in theory?
I think that might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, so Marco will be sitting at the table as anyone starts to arrive, already smoking a cigarette, sort of like waiting for people as they come in.
Yeah, Kole gets everything packed away when she finishes, reassembles the guns, and then we'll join.
You're finally ready then, Kole. I saw you dealing with all your weapons.
Best to have everything prepared and ready.
Oh.
Because anything could change as soon as the mission starts.
Fair enough. You seem very prepared.
Best way to be.
Have you seen the others yet?
Last I saw Vance, they were doodling in their notebook. I hope it's some good ideas going forward for the adventure. I didn't seem to check. Hurricane hasn't seemed to come out of their little cave yet that they made for themselves, but I'm sure they're working hard. And last I saw Claudette, she walked towards where our host is staying. So I have no idea from that point on.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully they'll join us soon enough. I've had Diego looking around. I can get him to give him a little prompt to make their way in. And Seb, from my understanding of things with Diego, can he actually interact with things a little more if we need to? Just subtle things like a prod or something if I needed to.
I will say yes, that is definitely a possibility. He is a spirit.
Yeah, I'm not asking him to be doing small little things like a knock or a tap at a door or something like that. Whatever way you guys want to play that, this spirit sort of makes the way up towards towards each of your sort of areas where you are to sort of suggest you make your way, or at least be people are waiting for you.
Yeah, in your little cave, Hurricane, like one of your like hard drives suddenly falls off the shelf, like towards you.
Catching by the door or something, yeah, so maybe.
That's weird. It kind of knocks him out of his ADHD hyperfocus, and he'll get up, put the hard drive exactly where it should be, and then spot out the corner of his eye that everyone is reconvening, and he'll join the table, but you'll see that he looks very different to the Hurricane you saw the evening before. His hair is slicked back. He has a different pair of glasses on, but you still do occasionally catch text running across on the inside. But he isn't very much business casual. And yeah, you see like part of a lanyard dangling out of one of his pockets. And it's much smarter than the dress he was in the day before.
I didn't realize that dressing up might be appropriate for this thing, but of course we are going to be going to an Elysium. I'm probably... I don't know whether my attire would be worthwhile here, but yeah. Is there any other clothes on board, Hurricane, that I might be able to... maybe something less conspicuous than what I currently wear might be not a bad idea.
I know Lucita has quite the wardrobe on board, but
it may not be my thing. But maybe there is some clothing around. I will have a look in them all.
We could maybe stop off on the way to buy some clothes for the occasion. I too could do with some formal attire. I don't really own any.
Same. Oh, we shall see what the others are up to. Vance, are you anywhere nearby? Are you still drawing?
Yeah, Vance would have been in this conversation just very judgy looks when you were all talking about your outfits not being appropriate. They would have piped up and said, I can help you pick out some clothes, because clearly you're not very good at it. We'll stop on the way. I know an amazing tailor, and don't worry, I got it covered, and they'll flip a wallet. It's clearly not theirs. They've clearly stolen a wallet from somebody. It's on whoever's wallet this is.
Okay, we will visit your tailor.
And with that, I will say that maybe Claudette and Lucita will emerge from the back room, seeing whatever she has picked out for the night, I guess.
Yeah, so Claudette emerges from the back room. She has picked a slinky, deep purple dress with slight sparkles depending on how the light hits it. Very deep plunging neckline, spaghetti strap. She has her hair up in a tasteful wrap that's very tight. For those of you who maybe inspect it very, very, very closely, you might see that pieces of it are held in place with her lock-picking gear. But otherwise, dangly earrings, a thin chain with like a pendant that's like a deep emerald color, about maybe the size of a thumbnail. It's not like gaudy big, but like big. And then she also has some dangly bracelets, the high slit on the dress with some black strappy high heels. Is not armed, has no weaponry on her, and has no place to be able to hide it. And also with her shades gone, you actually see that she picked this emerald because it matches her green eyes.
A wonderful choice, my dear, Lucita says.
I love shopping in your closet. Please allow me to do it again sometime soon.
We will see. Not too often, though, but every now and then. Why not? Okay. So, are you all ready for your big night?
A couple of us still need to get suitable attire, but I think apart from that, we're good to go.
How tall is Kole? I made Claudette just a hair above 5 foot, so I don't know.
I have Kole in my mind as like 6'2".
Yeah, okay. I thought she struck me as like
Yeah.
statuesque.
Yeah, she's like an Amazonian build.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I mean, I don't know if you would have anything in your closet, Lucita, for our statuesque friend, but maybe she could look around. I could help.
Please, go ahead.
Kind of gesture for Kole to step forward, and then I would follow her and see if I couldn't help her dress.
I think this is probably the first time any of you guys have probably seen Kole look genuinely nervous about the idea of basically becoming Claudette's Barbie to play with. It is not on her to-do list at all and looks incredibly uncomfortable.
Ooh, this is gonna be fun. Because you sort of have to improvise with these clothes, I want you to roll me a wits, because it's sort of your natural feel with whatever this is, and etiquette, to see how well you're able to adapt this to this specific situation.
Is this Claudette rolling us, or is this Kole rolling?
This would be Claudette.
Claudette, okay. Do I get any extra? Sorry, go ahead.
Do you have any dots in etiquette?
I do not. Oh, sorry,
Kole. Yeah, I have 1.
In that case, you can roll 1 die extra.
Okay, good, because I have nothing in etiquette. So just straight wits with nothing. I'm not adding a discipline or anything to this, right? I don't have any. Yeah, there's no discipline added to this.
You could rouse for wits for the rest of the evening, but then
that would put me at 4 hunger. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that. Vampire dice is +1, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, here we go. Wow. I think Kole is just too big. Like, there's just nothing here that feasibly fits her.
Yeah,
I don't think the shoes are gonna really fit on her feet.
Yeah.
You sort of try to adapt one of the dresses, but in doing so, you basically have to cut it open so much that it basically looks like nothing anymore. Yeah.
I think after a little while, you see Claudette coming out as arms crossed, looking thwarted. And she will just say, I can't work with what I have with who she is. I'm sorry, Lucita, you just are nowhere near the same size. There's a foot difference in height.
It is a pain, but perhaps there are shops around you might be able to find something.
I still need to visit a tailor. Vance has suggested, at least, so we are stopping off for claws anyway. Is there anything else anyone else needs?
We should be okay.
Okay. So you will go shopping. I'm assuming you sort of take the Peugeot you stole last session.
Before we do, I'll just do a quick police report check to see if it's been flagged as stolen.
No, it has not. This particular Peugeot was like basically on the parking lot of like this like private airport sort of thing, and it looked like it had been there for a little while.
Oh, someone's gone on holiday and we've just stolen it.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Airport parking.
Okay. So you go into Paris towards a space that apparently, where Vance apparently knows someone.
Yeah, I imagine they do. I would take them there to get some nice, good quality suits. Not crappy, cheap ones. It would be a very nice tailor's.
Yeah. So as you get there, you basically like the tailor like welcomes you. Oh, Mr. Vance, it has been so long since we have received you here.
I know, but I'm sorry to put this on you, but I mean, look at them. They need some quality clothes.
It's
Oh,
Marco's
do
turn
not-
to be uncomfortable. Yes.
Do not worry, we will be able to clothe them in no time. I do suggest you take changing rooms 2, 3, and 4 because we have somebody else, like a fashion reporter, who is doing some research here as well in room 1. So please, take all the time, take all the thing you need. I know you are good for your money.
Oh, most definitely. You know me. I always pay, no matter what. I am also going to be buying one. We've got a party this evening, hence why we're last minute getting some stuff.
Please, go ahead. And you can basically, describe whatever your characters are wearing when they head to Elysium after this.
And I imagine, because I have several stolen wallets, I imagine at least one of them will be able to pay. And Vance is well off anyway, so if none of them work, they will just pay.
Yeah, you will have to take off 1 dot of resource for this story. So remember where you had it originally, but that's a resource that's currently being taken up by, getting this.
Yeah, that's fine.
And this replenishes after each city you go through, basically. But for now, you are 1 dot of resources. So, what do they come out with? And what do the people that are not currently being fitted, what do they do?
Well, I think Vance, you would have had to make the choice of what Marco was wearing. So what would he have ended up in? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not good with fashion.
Yeah, a decent dark grey pinstripe, something maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
I was going to say dark grey or blue. I think would be best, but whatever. I keep forgetting.
Yeah,
your character's name because
it's Marco. Oh, yeah, because it doesn't show.
It's under GM. Yeah, you're both under GM. So
so he's wearing a nicely, very well done suit that's been pulled in quickly, but looks decently done. I think maybe dark greys with a blue top on that front. But he's looking slightly pulling at the collar, slightly awkward in the moment, but the suit looked good. He's just not quite used to what he's wearing in the moments, and is he looks decent enough, but he's certainly not comfortable with it. Is this really this necessary?
You're going to a very nice event. I don't really want you wearing your leather jacket. And I at least want you to look semi-nice. And I would say you brush up nicely, but I mean, this is the best we can do. Yes.
And he's standing there quite out of place at the moment when whether Kole comes out, whatever's going on there.
I think Kole will be in a very fairly masculine silhouette suit with a waistcoat, blazer, trouser combo, and a white shirt underneath. Very casual, kind of effortless chic to it. And she looks pretty comfortable in it, considering. But and it will be like a military blue kind of color as well, I think.
Well, at least Kole looks nice. Did Hurricane come with us? Oh no, you're staying out of it, right? You're not coming into the event.
Yeah, he's come with, but he is not changing. He has no interest in looking nice for the event. He wants to blend in as a member of the IT crowd.
Why do I have a picture of Hurricane cosplaying as Moss from the IT crowd?
That is the thing in my head, just black chinos and a white shirt, and
pocket protector.
Okay.
And everything.
All right, and how about Vance himself? Because I believe he also.
Oh, Vance would be in a lovely velvet suit, I think. Maybe a nice deep red, velvet suit with just a nice white shirt underneath. No tie or waistcoat or anything. Just very smart looking, and he's very excited. That they are very excited. Sorry about this event because they get to meet a lot of artists of his caliber, their caliber. So
Okay. Claudette, while the others are doing this, are you doing anything? Or
Well, I think
were you at?
Claudette is, you know, that viewing room that a lot of tailors have where like they bring
Mhm.
people out and they put them in front of a mirror and like, you know, do whatever last minute measurement stuff they have to do. I think she's probably sitting in one of those chairs, like legs crossed, arms crossed, kind of like jiggling her foot because she's hungry. So she's just kind of maybe uncharacteristically quiet, just kind of waiting to get on with it, you know? Maybe not talking a lot. Kind of she knows she's going to be most likely seeing Alexandra later, and I think she's thinking of like different scenarios about how that could possibly go.
Yeah. While you are waiting, you see a woman coming out of the dressing rooms saying, "Oh, you are so I'm so grateful to you, Jacques. I really needed one of these for tonight. I'm so happy I'm able to borrow one of these." And Claudette, this catches your attention because this person, this mortal that just came out, is familiar to you.
First, because this caught my attention, I probably want to eavesdrop a little bit more, so I'm going to go ahead and activate heightened senses.
Yeah.
But as I sit there and kind of clock this mortal, do I know who they are? Like who?
Yes. Her name is Avery. And she's
Oh.
actually one of your mortal descendants.
Oh.
And one of your touchstones.
Yeah, I'm about to say, do I? Okay, that's the thing. I think she's my niece, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although you have not actually made contact with her in a long time. You sort of watch her from afar.
Yeah. So, I do see this, and as I am stunning, I don't think I really want her to know that I'm here. So, as I see this, maybe I would like to activate Blush of Life, which may or may not make me hungrier. Let's find out. Oh fuck. Okay.
And eviscerate your touchstone.
Yeah. I'm very hungry right now. Reach into her little clutch purse that she has and get out a cigarette. And she is going to step outside for a cigarette and away from her touchstone. But she's going to cross the street in a way that still keeps Avery like in the window so I can keep watching her, you know? But I'm going to be smoking from like across the street. I'm guessing she has some sort of like long coat on. I don't know what the weather's like right now.
Yeah, you hear her talk to the tailor, saying, "Yeah, I know. Like, you know, I normally don't get invited to these things, but like, apparently it's like super exclusive because like no one really has heard of it. But like, it's at the Louvre, so I'm guessing this is like really exclusive and fun, right?" And like the tailor says, "Oh yes. I mean, these kinds of things happen. Perhaps you just got someone's eye, and perhaps you know perhaps this could be your big break. You know, make it big."
Is my niece as stunning as I am?
She is very beautiful.
Damn it.
It runs in the blood. What can I say?
Okay. Okay. Like I said, Claudette is going to try to remain kind of like out of her eye line. And I think she was going to get up and go outside for a cigarette. But I think now she's just going to kind of like have the cigarette in her hands ready to go. But she wants to hear more of like what Avery knows about this and if she name drops who maybe invited her or anything like that. So she's going to try to like basically stay out of her eye line, pseudo stealth hide, but not like activate any powers to do so. And
yeah, roll me a dex stealth, I guess.
Okay.
And what you're actually trying to ascertain? Sorry.
So with my heightened senses, first and foremost, I want to not let Avery know that I'm here. I don't want her to see me. But I don't want to do so in a way like that, like I activate any powers to get away from her. I just kind of like wherever she's looking, I kind of want to not be, you know?
Yeah. The thing is, with heightened senses, even if you're like outside, you can basically still hear.
Yeah.
everything that you-
So on top of not being seen or heard, I want to figure out how she learned about Elysium. Does she use the term Elysium? Who invited her? And what is the purpose of her being there?
I'm gonna let you roll. I'm gonna make you roll something. Let's do wits and investigation.
Okay, wits investigation. Okay, and I'm adding my heightened senses to this.
2 successes. It's sort of difficult, but she doesn't use the word Elysium
Okay.
for one. But you are able to sort of catch the person that invited her, which is one Émile Chauvelin.
Do I know that name? Do I know who that is?
Claudette wasn't exactly the Elysian sort of person, right?
No, she wasn't into like the politics of it unless it involved like toppling it essentially. So
Yeah, and she's an anarch, so it wouldn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean anything to you. But on the off chance, I will let you roll intelligence etiquette.
so intelligence, and that's it.
Basically. If you have a Camarilla specialty, which I don't think you do. Ooh. Yeah, you don't know this person, and since you failed, this is going to be a bestial failure.
Oh, come on, man.
No.
Come on. Don't do this. Don't do
Eat,
this.
eat.
Okay.
Give
Let
me a look, because this is not like an action sort of thing.
Mhm.
You are going to get a compulsion.
Okay, I have a clan Bane, but what's my compulsion?
Yeah, you will gain your clan compulsion, which is this. I will copy paste it here. And until you have fulfilled this, you will gain the 2 dice penalty to all rolls.
Okay.
As your beast, being this hungry, your beast is being awakened, and now someone has been messing with someone who's close to you, who means something to you,
Mm-hmm.
and your beast cannot let that stand. It wants you to rebel. It wants you to question authority. A perfect thing to do when you're going to an Elysium, of course. Okay. After a bit, you do see that Avery leaves the shop and sort of heads out into the night. I assume you don't follow her, or I assume you don't do anything else.
No, because I know where she's going to be.
Okay. The rest of you finish up your shopping. It's very nearly 9 p.m., the time you know that Elysium is going to start. And yeah, you appear fully dressed and ready for the social battle that is Elysium. Is it okay if I fast forward until you get to Elysium, or is there anything else you want to do beforehand?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. As you make your way further into the city,
I would just give everyone a small Bluetooth earpiece so we can all stay in contact with each other should we get separated.
Are these like
Really small in ear.
must say, are they incognito? Okay, because I'm wearing
Yeah.
my hair up, so
Yeah, they are very small. Unless you are rigorously checked, they shouldn't be seen.
Okay. So you take off towards the Louvre. You pass by the Arc de Triomphe, and you park your car near a parking structure near the Louvre. The Notre Dame you can sort of see in the background. Its roof still under reconstruction after the fire not that long ago in Universe. And eventually you arrive at the site that is the Louvre. you sort of know how to make your way there. You know the little side entrance in the Deno wing, which will serve as your entrance into Elysium tonight. And as you are walking up to there, Claudette, yes, you again, because this is your home city. So this is a lot of stuff is going to happen to you specifically. You hear a voice as if someone is hanging over your shoulder.
Claudette, let's, because she still has blush of life going, I think. So I think Claudette is going to just kind of let out a sigh. I don't have her actual sheet open, so I don't know this person's name, but I know that this is the Nosferatu that I contacted yesterday. But I can't remember his
Neville. Yeah.
She'll say, "Hello, Neville. How are you? This fine Elysium."
Did originally want to come. But you know what you said yesterday? I put a little feelers out.
And did your little birdies come back to roost with anything interesting?
Well, the arrest yesterday. I heard it was one of a stunning woman. One that sort of corresponds to your description.
And there are not many, but this is also Paris. There are many models out and about. And as you see, I am here, so I could not have been arrested. So,
yeah. So the rest of you see basically like Claudette like stopped in her tracks and is now sort of like talking to the air, basically.
She seems completely like nonchalant about this, by the way.
Cole's going to look at Marco and go, isn't that the sort of thing that you do?
I had such high hopes for Claudette.
Like tears up the drawings and stuff.
I would never destroy beauty.
Yeah. The odd thing? No arrest report. No judge signed off on it. No paper trail at all. As if someone illicitly influenced some of them to do what they did to you.
That would be quite an annoyance to some, I would say.
I wonder who. And seeing as you have shown up here with such an interesting crew,
You know how tagalongs can be.
might be useful to keep in mind who has a vested interest in you getting captured.
I can't help but agree. Perhaps if you hear of anything, you can let me know. And if I hear anything, I will let you know.
You know, nothing ever comes for free.
I would expect not. What do you think you would require for this
A major
information?
boon.
Absolutely
And
not.
trust me, it is juicy.
I do not wish to be indebted to you in that way. Perhaps we can come to a different arrangement.
What is your offer?
Well, perhaps I know of an upcoming job that is to occur soon. And perhaps it will shake things up, as you say, in the world that we know behind the curtain.
So you give me information on this job, and I give you the information you look for. Is that the deal you had in mind?
I mean, maybe. I would keep a close eye on the works here tonight. maybe come tomorrow, there will be less to see.
Saying that, from behind you steps a Nosferatu, dressed mostly in leather. Most of his body is covered in tattoos. A lot, like his ears, basically pierced to the max, like several sort of piercings being put through his face. And if you didn't know better, you just thought that this would have been a mortal who just went a little bit too extreme on the body modification. That being said, he still looks odd for a normal person. And he says, that is interesting.
So we've
You're-
definitely seen this Nosferatu appear, sorry.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Oh, Cole's moving forward. This is... Yeah, no. Cole's definitely making a move towards because this weirdo has just suddenly appeared out of nowhere.
And did we hear Claudette say that essentially blow our cover and say something is happening?
Roll wits awareness.
Oh God.
Do you want that from all of us, or just from?
I think we were all listening in.
Yeah, you can all roll. That's fine.
I mean, we all
Well.
heard them talk to themselves.
That is true.
2 successes.
And 2, 3.
Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, I will say she's not too far behind. Yeah, the people that had 3 would have basically have heard this.
Do I get to roll anything to see if I can hide this or no?
Would you have purposely trying to hide this?
I mean, I'm not talking to advertise.
Okay. Roll me let's do manipulation subterfuge.
Okay, not great for me. Nope. Okay. Thought you were going to give me some sort of stealth.
Yeah,
I guess
manipulation.
I guess it's a different animal. Yeah.
I was sort of thinking.
Manipulation stealth would have been fantastic for me, but the rolls happened. So
Yeah, I will say the rest heard you. The Nosferatu comes up before you and says, "Your trade is accepted."
and then she will add, the works here, the brushstrokes, they are so evocative. One would say people could be envious of them.
You speak in tongues.
I am very good with my tongue.
I'm sure you are. Right now, my information. Alexandra.
Can I roll anything to see if they're telling the truth?
Wits insight.
Okay. Ugh. Seb, you gotta ask me to sneak around, man. I'm much better at that.
Cole would have made her way over. Would she be here by now?
Yeah, she would.
I don't know if that would have stopped the Nosferatu talking.
It wouldn't.
Okay, cool. That's fine then.
Seems forthright.
That derails what I want to do tonight, so thank you. Claudette furrows her brow and considers and says, why? What does her play? We have...
Not part of the deal, sweetheart.
Fine. I believe this was a poor interaction on your part. I expected better from a master of whispers such as yourself. But sometimes you just have to be disappointed.
Well, you're around, Claudette.
Is this a new scene? Do I have to activate heightened senses again or no?
Yes, you would have. But
Okay,
it's
so then,
free,
yeah, I'm about to say, so activate heightened senses just to have it up. And Claudette will kind of stand there, arms crossed, tapping her toe as, I don't know, this guy fucks off, I guess.
Yeah, he sort of turns around and sort of like comes face to face with Kole, who like walked up. What is it you say or do, Jess?
Cole would put her hand on Claudette's shoulder and be like, are you okay? Who is that man?
He's my into the anarchs of Paris. And he just gave me some unfortunate information. I gave him a tidbit in return, albeit perhaps not in the direction that he thinks, but worth the price, I think.
We did hear you allude to what is happening, or what we hope to happen, and I think that was unwise.
Well, you can't get all of us together like this and expect not something to happen. So, as I said, I pointed him towards brushstrokes, not jewelry. So maybe they will be focused in a different area.
Well, sakes, you are right with that. Well, I'm glad to see you're okay. And she'll do like a pretty like hearty shoulder slap, bit of a bro move, and then we'll kind of lead you back towards everyone else.
And with that, I assume you continue to the entrance. There, you are greeted by a number of security guards. And you know, as is the rule here, Vance gets you an entrance.
We all grin then.
Smile.
It's like those electronic border controls at the airport. Just stand in the little thing, look at the camera, and they see the teeth, and you go through.
I've assumed that weapons are banned at these kind of events. So I have assumed I'm tailored but not carrying. Yes.
Yeah, once you're let through, you're basically being batted down, trying to catch any weapons before you're let through.
It's fine.
Do any of the guards have weapons on them? Do they have guns or anything?
Roll me a wits awareness check. So they all carry sort of walkie-talkies. So they are in contact with each other. You also notice that they are carrying a sort of wooden club thing.
Oh, a truncheon.
Yeah, but the end of this truncheon has been sharpened to a point.
Wow.
I love that. Okay, cool.
Basically, they're all carrying stakes.
So good.
Ooh.
I'm offended. This is offensive.
Cool. Okay. That gets like logged away in Cole's brain just for when we later possibly have to run out in a panic.
Have we parted way with Hurricane yet? Are you still walking with us?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually.
I don't know if it would be wise you coming in with us, maybe going either first or...
I don't even think I would have gone in through this entrance. I would have looked at like proper blueprints of the Louvre and seen where like their staff entrance is, and I'd have tried to go in through that way.
Would you have given any of us an RFID scanner at this point, or would you be keeping that on yourself?
I think I only have the one, and that's currently attached to my phone.
So yeah, the plan is to try and go in through the security yourself, and obviously via the staff way. Fair enough. Okay, so yeah, us four together.
Yeah, so the staff entrance is actually through like the metro system, which has like a metro, which basically has, because the Louvre has its own like metro station underground, and there you have like an employee entrance if you want. Of course, the badge you've made doesn't actually work because there's no actual RFID chip in there that can actually like scan you in.
So I'll make a show. So this is an assumption, but they usually have cameras watching these things. So I'll make like a bit of a show of trying to swipe it and it obviously not working. And I'll just look into the camera and be like,
okay,
and I'll wave the pass in hopes that someone else is watching and let me in.
Okay, this is fun. Roll me a manipulation persuasion.
Oh, Oh,
Ooh,
Holy moly!
critical success.
Wow, 5.
That's more like it.
She's
Damn.
so polite.
The politeness is through the roof.
Yeah, it doesn't take long like a security guard comes and opens the door and says, badge is not working again.
No, I need to get it
Wait,
replaced.
I'm so sorry, Seb.
Yeah,
Is he speaking French or English?
he is speaking French.
I will do the whole I'm sorry, I'm new. I don't speak French. I'm with IT.
If the in Paris
mean-
has taught me anything, that's acceptable in France, apparently. To just
And
turn up and not
France.
speak the fucking language.
Yeah, you sort of see him furrow his brow for a moment as he sort of lets you inside.
So I'm the new on-call IT guy. We've got one of the servers down. He'll just kind of like flash his badge really quickly, so it looks the part, but he doesn't get like the most amazing look. Do I get the sense that this guy is human or ghoul?
What way would you have to tell?
His politeness.
Yeah.
Rolled 5, Seb.
No, if you had something like sense the beast or something, that
No, I
might be
don't.
able to give you something. But
Do not have any of that.
yeah, you don't really have a way of telling. But you do notice that after he lets you in, he says something in French on his walkie-talkie.
Uh-oh.
Then what? I am not in any kind of like rush to run away. I am, as I said, being very polite, being very I'm supposed to be here kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Not making
And
suspicious moves.
And he lets you in, and he says, in broken English, "Follow me, new guy."
And he'll just smile and just, yeah, do as he's told.
Yeah. And he basically takes you to another space. Meanwhile, back at the entrance of the Elysium, you guys are greeted by a rather frail-looking gentleman. Bonjour. Bienvenue à Elysium. I will continue in English because it is easier for me at the moment.
C'est bon.
We are, you know the rules of the Elysium. No fighting, no weapons, no disciplines. Keep it civil. Do not kill any of the blood dolls, and we will get on. Also, if you damage any of the works of art, I will stake you and put you out into the sun myself. Welcome, all. You know, this is Victor Pisset, who is the master of Elysium here in the Louvre.
Hello again, Victor.
Pleasure.
Claudette, I did not expect any of your kind here today.
Well, the good prince is nothing but amicable, and I hope to pay them as much respect as is deserved tonight.
Apparently. But I will keep my eye out.
Well, I'm used to eyes being on me, so that's fine. Tell me, Alexandra made an appearance tonight.
I believe she is upstairs. I believe she has a debate scheduled against Eleanor de Valois later this evening.
I need to go tell her to break a leg. So, thank you.
Very well. I will see you inside. And as you guys are heading inside, you arrive at the Elysium proper, where we will continue in a few moments as we are taking a little drink break for a second. So as you entered Elysium, you are currently being led to the Galerie d'Apollon. the room you have to be in, the room where the regent, and there Prince Francois Villon is currently addressing the crowd, making sure everybody is welcome to the Elysium. His presence is magnetic, and you have difficulties keeping your eyes off of him as he draws all the eyes in the room towards him and his magnificence. So, Kindred of Paris, you are all welcome here this evening. We do not have very urgent matters to discuss, but I propose you mingle, you talk, you enjoy the festivities and the events that we have planned for this evening. Partake in whatever we provide, and know that your prince is good to you. You see you're in the room with a good 40 or 50 other kindred, as well as quite a lot of security guards. Some of these, especially Claudette, you would know that these are elders, ancilla, neonates all together. A little bit less elders these days, but some that can still be considered elders that are around. And of course, the eldest among you all, being the prince himself. Yeah, you can sort of try to figure out, or you can sort of try to mingle. If you're looking for anyone specific or anything in specific, you can of course. You see that Francois himself is staying within this area, within the Galerie d'Apollon, and he's sort of talking to a couple of elders. What might be of interest to you, Claudette, is the presence of Alexandra, who is currently talking to what might be the second oldest person here today. A kindred you know as Eleanor de Valois.
That is very interesting. I need to find a blood doll.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to eat. I'm at 4 hunger. So I will do that after I find some blood.
Priorities.
Yeah. They aren't provided in this gallery.
Claudette will just turn. I'm imagining that she probably came in with her arm in arm with Vance, just for things. But she'll turn. She'll kind of pat his arm and turn to them and Marco and Kole, and just say, "Over there is the head of the Anarchs, and my on again, off again flame, Alexandra. She's speaking to Eleanor de Valois, who is set to be debating her tonight. She is the second oldest here to the prince. There in that direction. I desperately need to eat, so I will unfortunately have to peel off. But those are the people that you perhaps want to keep an eye out for and behave around. Is there anyone else that I would point out of interest to the group? And I can put forth a dice pool if you would like.
Yeah, this will also be an etiquette thing. Intelligence etiquette.
Can I argue for intelligence politics?
Oh yeah, politics. I forgot politics was a skill.
I have
Let's go with
I have
intelligence
3 and I have 3 in politics. So
let's go with intelligence politics.
I give 2.
Okay, 2 successes. Yeah, you're able to point out. So Eleanor, who was actually at the Convention of Thorns back in the day, and used to be quite a big proponent of the anarch movement before she switched to the camp. You have Alexandra, of course. You have the prince. You have a kindred named Isabelle Sinclair, who is one of the, let's call her one of the more accomplished artists within the clan Toreador here.
I'll go ahead and point
Vance.
her out specifically to Vance.
You also have a Ventrue named Louis Auguste Beaumont, who's supposed to get married tonight, apparently, in a sort of blood marriage. And I will say with 2, that's about it.
Okay. So I will point out those kindred on top of the ones that we already are interested in. And then I will also say, and I will take it as a personal kindness if you were to keep an ear out for Avery Mercier, fashion reporter. She's human. She may be out and about. And Anemia Chauvelin. I don't know if they are kindred, if they are human, if they are ghoul. But he may be trouble. I don't know yet. And then I think with that, she'll give another pat to Vance's arm, untangle her arm, and just head toward food.
Vance would turn to the other 2 and also just say, I think it would be best if we kind of split up and just to get our bearings of everywhere and how many security guards there are around where we're going to be later, mainly. Also, I just want to go look at some art, and I don't want you lingering around.
Good luck with that.
Shall we make a rendezvous? When to meet
We
up?
have we have these thingies that Hurricane gave us. I imagine we just talk into them, and when we need to meet up.
But if we lose them, there needs to be a agreed upon time in case anything happens, anyone gets compromised.
Was there a time that we set? I can't remember. I think it's just when Hurricane maybe gives us a signal that he's done something to help us.
Are these earpieces, are these two-way? Like, can we just hear everyone, or is it just Hurricane listening in?
No, they're the kind of like you need to, unfortunately, do the push in and you can talk. And then it's not on all the time.
Okay.
But yeah, I agreed. We split up, maybe meet back 2 hours, if back by the entrance to the wing if anything goes wrong.
Sounds like a good plan.
Good luck. As he starts to mosey off on his way as well.
Okay. We will catch back up with you all in a moment. But Hurricane, you are being led into a room which is basically an empty white room. All that's within it is a single table.
This isn't the server room, dude.
Allez-y! And he sort of grabs you by the shoulder and sort of pushes you inside.
I will immediately use compel and say, take me to the server room.
Yeah, they will be able to oppose this because they are not a normal mortal. But
so it's their intelligence resolve versus my charisma plus dominate. I'm going to blood surge because
yeah,
I need it.
They roll a
Okay.
1.
I get hungrier. Charisma. Oh.
Ooh.
4.
Yeah, with that, he will look at you for a moment. And after a while, he sort of starts walking. You hear behind you several other feet running towards the room you were supposed to be in just a moment ago.
I'm assuming he still has his hand on my shoulder as if
Yeah.
pushing me towards the server room as opposed to just leading me to it. Cool.
But you get a sense that you just avoided
Daylight?
encountering quite a few of the security guards here. And eventually he leads you to the server room, upon which your dominate breaks.
I will try it again with compel. Or do I go up 1? Okay, it's not a particularly... I'll say the command, but you can tell me whether it's a compel or a mesmerize. It's not particularly complex. Go outside and walk around the Louvre several times. Oh, it says it must be completed in a single turn. This will have to be mesmerized. Okay.
Yeah, this will have to be mesmerized. And actually, technically, the last thing as well, because that would have probably taken longer, but I can hand wave that as long as you mesmerize now.
Okay, rouse. Or mesmerize. Success. They are not human, so this will not work automatically. And it is manipulation plus dominate.
Yeah, that's
So he's going for a walk.
yeah, he is going for a walk, leaving
that's-
you in this near the server room.
Awesome. So all I need to do in here, I have a small little adapter, so I can take out one of the network cables and just put the adapter on the end and plug it back into the server, and it will essentially give me root access into that server, and it'll give me like a little private wireless network that I can essentially just hijack whatever I need to, and I'll just sit in the corner of the server room and be everyone's eyes.
Yeah, are you currently are you planning on staying there and sort of monitoring the situation from there?
I imagine it's fairly. I mean, server rooms tend not to be foot traffic heavy, so I'll just kind of like.
That's true.
I'll
Okay,
sit in a quiet corner and just.
in that case, I need you to roll me a hacking check to see whether or not your like the little thing you've inserted hasn't like tripped any security systems or whatever. I don't care if this is the way it actually works.
It's movie logic. Come on.
All you computer people.
We are playing a game with vampires. I think we can make believe a little bit.
It's got to be
Let
important. There's a
me-
green blinking light on the top of it, so it's.
Okay. You can roll me an intelligence and technology.
Could I persuade you with intelligence plus larceny? Because that is what my speciality for hacking is in.
Sure, yeah. Let's go for it.
Okay,
The
intelligence.
thing is, and this is a special thing that I have not told you yet.
Uh-oh.
No, roll first.
Larceny, intelligence, confirm.
This will be enough. However, for this check to be successful, you have to say a couple of magic words that are a staple of the genre. And it is "I'm in." Otherwise, your hacking attempt will not work.
I've hacked the mainframe, you have to say.
Hack the planet.
Wait.
Yeah, over the earpiece, I'll just say, I'm in.
And with that, your technology roll is successful. Back to Claudette, your search for a blood doll. Back a few rooms where there's like a couple of paintings, a couple of statues being displayed. You do see what's essentially a bar that's been set up, like for just like a human reception sort of bar, except behind the counter you have between 8 and 10 people that are essentially being displayed.
So, Claudette is as hungry as she is looking at these people. Do they seem as if they're compelled? Do they seem as if they are aware? Like, do they know where they are?
It's sort of different for a couple of them. A few of them certainly seem to be. A couple of them seem to be a little bit foggy behind the eyes. But it's like also a wide range of types of people, like young, old, basically whatever you want to be there. Some of them are probably dominated to be there. Others seem to be willing and of their own mind.
Okay, Claudette is going to focus on the ones that are willing. And I think she's going to split up this feeding between two of them just because she's really hungry and she doesn't want to risk it. So the first one that she would like to partake in, age, sex, doesn't matter. She's looking for someone hardy.
Because you are at hunger 4, I will ask you to roll something for me.
Okay.
As you plunge your fangs into the neck or whatever other vein you want to drink from.
I'm gonna go wrist.
Yeah,
We're in an elite. We're in public.
you feel the need to drink deep. And I need to for you to test against hunger frenzy, basically.
Okay, so this is just resist frenzy.
You taste the blood while at hunger 4 or higher, and you need to make it against a difficulty of 3, which is, I believe, a willpower roll.
All right, tell you what, we'll do strength brawl because that's 3 and. Oh man,
3 successes.
I don't want this bad.
Come on.
You can willpower these if they don't
Yeah.
go
Okay.
the way you want them to.
Hey!
Oh, you are such a lucky bugger. Yeah, you are able to slake 2 blood from this mortal without drinking too deeply. You're struggling. The hunger is gnawing in your stomach, and you really, really want to drink. You really need food. Your beast is riling inside of you.
Okay, and
But you are able to pull yourself away in time as to not mortally wound this human.
so I pull away. I do that thing where like my eyes kind of like roll back and kind of like my lids flutter because I was in just such a very bad way, and I lick the wounds clean. I thank the person for allowing me to sup upon them. And then I will go to a different one. Because like I said, I'm splitting this up because I was really hungry and I didn't want to risk it. Which apparently I still did. But the next one matters less. The only thing that really matters now is that they are, again, of their right mind and they are consenting.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I will say you are able to find another one of those, and you are able to sit like another.
Okay. So that puts
So
me
that
down.
Should bring you to 1.
Yeah, that brings me down to 1. So I'm in a much better place than I was before. I can now function a little better. Still at apparently a -2 because for other reasons. For other reasons, yeah. But
you need to
at least,
rebel basically to get rid of your compulsion.
Yeah, and so with that done, I will again lick the wound clean and thank the person for allowing me to feast on them. I'm going to make a beeline for Alexandra, and you can cut away to other people doing things and come back to me as I traverse the Louvre to go find Alexandra again. But that is my goal.
Yeah. The other, Kole, Vance, and Marco, what are you doing during this little break?
I can go for a moment. I've got a couple of ideas if the others are okay for 2 seconds.
Yeah. You are currently in the room where the gem is also being held.
Yeah, so
you are able to.
Yeah, so understanding that Hurricane has now got control of the security cameras and things like that, so I understand that's going relatively well. I don't know what the roles would be for this, but I want to be trying to deal with the more supernatural stuff that could be going on with the protections of this place, if that makes sense. I need him to sort of be looking for, are there sort of hidden wards, or kindred traps, things that might be more in my realm of expertise, if that makes sense, of things that to be looking out for that might cause us problems when we do actually try to take the gem when the time comes. So I'm looking for the more off kilter things that could be for our kind that might be going on around this place. So he's taking his time mingling through, but he's looking out for that kind of thing in amongst his travels, basically, as he's going around.
Yeah. So, do you look around, or is your spirit looking around?
Well, we were told about not using our disciplines I'm not sure how strong that is, so I think it's more him right now rather than that right now.
In that case, roll me a intelligence and occult.
Intelligence and occult. Okay, let's see if I can pull that off. Yes, I can. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. Not too shabby.
Yeah, you have the impression that this room specifically, not necessarily the rest of the museum, but specifically this room, has some very intense anti-kindred preparations. Boards that are placed on the doors that are currently inactive, but that will probably be activated as soon as like everything properly closes up shop. You also feel an intense aura emanating from one of these cases. And as you might guess, that is the case that the Région, the jewel that you are here to steal, is. There's like an intense emanation that you can sort of feel your beast coming alive as you get a little bit closer to it.
That's not good. Yeah, I mean, he's been warned of this, but it's one thing to be told something and another to feel it. But yeah, I mean, he's uncomfortable by that, obviously, and but realizes that is what it is, and yeah, he will be incredibly cautious around that when the time comes. But yeah, he's just going to try and make sure he understands what wards he can that are on the doors that we will need to circumvent later, and yeah, he'll be looking at that kind of thing while the others are doing whatever the others are at.
Mechanically, this would be, I believe it's called Ward Against Vampires, and it's a ritual. Yeah, warding against Canites, and it's a 5th level ritual.
That's a powerful stuff. Would
Just
he know enough?
Scratch it out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Would he know? Would he know what ways would be needed to attempt to disable them at a later date?
Oh, because wards have like their own rules.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Well, we could. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get that far in this one set, but you could say it like we're pulling that info in readiness.
Yeah, I will
do it in that form.
I will give you that information when the time is
when
there.
The time is right. But that's where he's playing that part of the story now and working all of that out and in the moments. Yeah. Is there anything that's picking up that if we were to use any of our powers that he would get noticed, that he's aware of with that as well, with his level of intelligence, or is it just literally it's common courtesy not to do anything with your powers?
So it's explicitly forbidden to use your disciplines during Elysium. Now, some disciplines don't really have a lot of outward shine, right? Like you can probably very easily turn on sense the unseen or heightened senses or something without actually like alerting anyone.
From my point of view, it's whether or not my brother would get noticed if I was to be using him within this place.
Well, you know that your brother would be visible to someone who has sense the unseen activated, or at least they will have to roll and they might be able to spot him. But it's also not necessarily something that would be against the rules, especially since they don't necessarily know he is connected to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough. But there's nothing intrinsically in the wards of the building that will make some sort of an alarm for something like that occurring, if that makes sense. It's more if someone spots him, or if I was being careful with him, that's different, I suppose.
There might be some wards in place, but none that you can see here.
Gotcha. Okay, no, thank you. But that's where Marco's been playing his part, trying to make sure that the initial supernatural bits are. And,
Yeah, the words here specifically seem very much to be against Kindred.
Yeah. And he would probably just, when he picks a quiet moment as he's walking by and realizes he's probably out of the view of the cameras, he would probably just quietly say, "The doors are warded for our kind. I have taken note. We will have to be careful on that." And then just keeps walking casually at the moment as the others play their whatever they're up to in the moments.
Yeah. Vance, Kole.
Oh, Vance would be taking in the art, trying to talk to as many artists and aspiring artists anyway, because he's they've got fame in the art world anyway. So I imagine they know a couple of people coming here because it's a massive art show. So
Yeah, you previously have been pointed. You are directed towards Isabelle St. Clair, who's one of the greatest artists in Clan Toreador currently in Paris. She's quite a tiny little thing, but she seems to be very eager tonight.
it's all just so beautiful, isn't it?
It is, but I recognize you, don't I? Yes, you are Vance from Brazil, is it?
Yes. That is me. I thought I'd come to this amazing show and just taking all this exquisite art.
Yes. You know, I would like to have your opinion on something.
Fire away.
You know, to really use that artistic eye of yours. You see, I am currently sponsoring an up-and-coming artist. At the moment, he is my ghoul, but later tonight, I am planning to petition him to become one of us, my child. I would like for you to have a little look and see what you think of his art before I do.
Absolutely. Any opportunity to see new and wonderful things is always something I would love to do.
And she takes you to a separate room where there's like a sort of makeshift exhibition happening. And she introduces you to Emile Chauvelin, who, in case you don't remember the name, is the person that Claudette told you to look out for. And he sort of shows off his art. All very exquisite, almost three-dimensional paintings in various shades of red. It's very brutalistic when you look at it. And I need you to roll a wits and awareness.
Cool. We can do that. Re?
Man, that's a huge
Yeah.
pool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are pretty sure that these paintings are made with blood and viscera of people that were, well, eviscerated.
Cool.
Grim.
Super cool.
Grim.
And at that point, you also notice a third figure looking sort of interested at these paintings.
Oh God. Please don't make me fight these two people to not.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
It's Elysium. No one fights at Elysium.
Yeah. Especially not in a back room with nobody else in it.
So, what do you think of my paintings? They are exquisite, no?
I do love what you've done. It is very brutal. I wouldn't say exquisite. I mean, the art here is exquisite. It's a very strong word, but
doesn't it
it's
speak to the deep brutalism that man and, well, what's more than man is capable of in these times, but that it doesn't necessarily need to be bad or brutal, but that it can be beautiful instead. Don't you see it? The way it girdles, the way it coagulates on the canvas. Isn't it different from anything you have seen before?
I will say I am always happy to see a unique perspective on art. Let's put it that way. I do enjoy your pieces. I would just be careful not going too far in your work. Brutal and whatever you said you want it to be. Sometimes you just want it to be beautiful, not covered in blood. I don't think this would sell very well outside of the right clientele.
Oh, but art is not for sale. Art is for the art's sake. I do not care about money. I care about the artistry.
Oh, the longer you have been around, the more you will start caring about money, especially the amount of money people pay for art. Trust me.
Well, we might have a difference of opinion.
What has the lady been doing this entire time?
She's sort of like looking up close, and it's sort of. Roll me wits insight.
Picking some good ones for me, but I'm still rolling pretty badly. Oh, no, it's pretty good.
Messy crits. Done on insights. I might give you a compulsion though.
How
me-
about no?
How about yes?
Messy crit. That's just mean.
Let's see the clans. Oh, but yeah, the Toreador one's fun.
No, wait.
You are.
You insulted them.
Upset.
That's your punishment.
I do not consent.
Or you are at the moment. You are obsessed. Put it in the chat. I'm enraptured by beauty, but you do sort of figure out what she is doing at the moment. You believe she doesn't know what she is looking at, but something inside the painting really speaks to her. And you also notice something else, I will say, because it's with a crit. You do notice that Emil, the current ghoul, maybe future Toreador, really keeps a close eye on the person, who you don't know if she's mortal or vampire or ghoul, but
Okay. And I imagine my obsession is with her, I guess, because
I will
looking at
leave
her.
that up to you.
Sure.
Insult the arts. I don't feel like.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not into the art. Walk over to it and just sort of stare at her very weirdly and be like, your cheekbones is very nice. Would you be okay with me painting you? Your facial features are just so. They'll lick their lips. And just, oh, this is so gross to play. It's exquisite.
Avery says, "Oh, wow! I suddenly seem to be getting a lot of attention. Emil made me a similar sort of proposal earlier. Said I would be his muse. Maybe."
Unlike Emil, you would be painted very well, and trust me, everyone would want to buy the paintings of you. You'd be a star.
I mean, I'm sure there's enough of me to go around for the both of you.
I would rather not. You would be my model, and no one else's. You would obviously get paid very well.
Roll me a. Ooh, what would this be? Would this be manipulation or charisma?
Manipulation. How
Sure,
about
let's
wits
do
again? 'Cause wits is cool.
manipulation and persuasion.
Oh no! Okay.
I will say at the moment Emil is too busy, like sort of explaining his paintings to others.
Vance would not care if he heard.
You can rouse. Can he rouse the blood for extras if he wants?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I've literally only got 2. Persuasion, manipulation, and I +2. Well, I'm obviously going to spend some willpower. 2 successes. It's not terrible.
How much hunger do you have?
3.
Then you could only have rerolled 1 because you cannot reroll hunger dice. Okay, I'll roll something for her. I mean, I guess that'd be all right.
Well, here's my number because I do have a phone, so I imagine I can give out her. I'll write down my number and a fake name, and say, please call me whenever you have a day free. Trust me, it would be my pleasure to paint you. Just leave my eyesight.
I will say, as you sort of creepily stare at her, she will.
Oh, Vance is very much. They just stare. It's a very off-putting.
She will eventually sort of find a different room, and I will say your compulsion is broken eventually.
I'm gonna go shower. I'll be right back. Of course.
Okay, cool. What are you doing in the meantime?
Kole will probably have seen Marco go off towards the gem room to scout that out. So what Kole is going to do is start assessing the security situation on the ground. So just looking through, working out how many security guards on average there are per room. It will make it look like she's going through looking at the art, but she's actually looking out for where security cameras are, where security guards are placed, and whatnot, and if there's anything unusual about the security, because her time in the military before turning probably has given her a bit of an eye into security, because in the military you do like high profile security work for like big events sometimes, so she will have been trained in that, so she's probably looking for similar signs.
Roll me a wits and investigation check, please.
Actually heinous. Okay, let's let's try and resolve that. Let's rouse some hunger to get that redone.
You cannot actually re-roll because they're all on hunger dice.
Oh yeah.
So you cannot willpower this.
Okay, I'll just suffer then. It's fine.
So this is just 1 wits. Luckily, with these kinds of rolls, like every success gets you sort of something, so it's not a bestial failure. And what you do assess is that a lot of these people seem to be armed specifically with the sort of stake-like bludgeon weapon that you have seen the other guards wear, meaning that these are probably specifically meant against Kindred. And you notice that the guards that are wearing these are very much centered around the Galerie d'Apollo, where you have to get into.
Okay.
So most of the Kindred security seems to be located there.
Okay.
You also hear, as you are sort of walking around, I will say you also hear something. A rumor that a Toreador named Madeleine Durand is wearing something quite dated and ugly.
Gross.
That is. Kole won't probably have an opinion on that, because she probably won't know what's dated and ugly.
But yeah, you sort of hear, but she's a harpy, right? Why would she be wearing something so absolutely terrible? And you speak French, so you actually understand this.
Yeah, I think the harpy bit is more interesting to Kole. So we'll probably do like a once over the room and see if there is an outfit that seems intrinsically different to all the others. So what would may be deemed as ugly to others.
This is wits etiquette, if you want. This is the first time I ever get to use etiquette. I'm fucking going to use it.
I have etiquette in the art scene, so I was hoping you would make me use it.
I have no etiquette whatsoever. It's as if Brujah are rude.
Hmm.
It's weird.
That's it.
Uh-oh.
Was that us?
Yeah, you're not able to find one, but your beast does get angry. And you, oh, yeah, this is also a fun one. You also gain a compulsion.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay. I'm gonna make people go against their own.
self-interest, basically.
We have to be discreet.
It'd be me going up to people like, I dare to touch the painting. You know you want to. Look at those textures. I bet it's bumpy. Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god. That's so bad. That's so
Yeah.
bad.
Yep.
And then we return eventually to our dear Claudette. As you are returning, you spot Alexandra staring at a smallish little painting that might at the first glance seem unremarkable. Your eyes are drawn to her, and suddenly your mind gets thrown back to when you first met, your first years together, where everything was great. When you shared the bond of each other's blood, one that which for all mechanical purposes has been extinguished since then. But as you look at her, to you she is still the most beautiful person on the planet.
I think Claudette takes Alexandra in for a moment as she looks at this small, unassuming painting and kind of lifts her chin up and struts over to her. Alexandra.
Ah, Claudette, mon chéri, it is so good to see you.
It is always good to see you.
And she leans in for a kiss on the cheek.
And I give her one.
It is so good to see you. It has been way too long.
It has. And just looking at my compulsion, I have to do something that somebody would think is unexpected of me. So the compulsion ends once they've managed to either make someone change their minds or done the opposite of what was expected of them.
In this case, I would say, as the leader of the Anarchs, Alexandra could count as a figure of authority.
Okay. So Claudette will look at her and say, silver handcuffs. Really? We've come to that.
Oh! Well, it was not where my mind went, but I do remember playing with those with you. You remember those nights, don't you?
I do. Fondly. As I thought you did. Until last night.
Night. My dear Claudette, what happened?
And I think Claudette lets the playfulness drop, and she will just say, I knew that we have had a falling out, but I did not know that you wished me to meet the sun. Are we really that irredeemable that you would do that to me?
My dear Claudette, I am sure I have no idea what you are talking about. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that I did. Couldn't there have been other reasons one could do that? I did hear through the grapevine you were getting involved in some unsavory business. Perhaps I just don't want my nightingale to fly the coop. And she sort of like reaches up her hand and brushes them against your cheek.
Are you saying that you did what you did for me out of some sort of wish for preservation?
Perhaps I just wanted to keep you close, my sherry. Safe in my embrace. Don't you remember what that was like? All that ugly stuff that we went through. The death of Raoul. We can leave that behind us. Just come back to me, my sherry.
Today I awoke, and my wrists were no longer blistered. They no longer caused me pain or irritation. Would that I could repair my heart in such a brief time.
Oh, but mon chéri, stay with me and we will have all the time in the world for each other. Look at this painting. And as you look, you see a painting of a man that looks surprisingly similar to Alexandra.
Do I know who painted this or who the subject is?
What would this be? Intelligence and academics? If you have an art sort of thing, you can add that, but
Okay, I don't, and my dice pool is 3, which means this would just be 1. I'm just gonna roll stamina, and we'll see what comes up. Yeah, I have no idea.
yeah, you have no idea. They say this is one of the last paintings that picture Alexander of Paris. Apparently, he was some sort of prince before Vion, during the Dark Ages. A lot of elders tell me I look like him. I have no love for the Camarilla, but I do believe that one day I will rule this city. And I want you there beside me, Claudette. Let me spoil you. Let me love you.
And when you achieve this lofty goal, how will your rule affect the mortals in Paris? Will you see them as your subjects as well, to be protected?
We will rule side by side, just like they did in Old Carthage. You know the stories, right? A vampire paradise. Mortals and vampires ruling in unison. That is the dream.
Then you should know that there is a mortal here tonight that could benefit from your lofty protection. Somebody who needs an eye kept out for them in ways that I cannot. If you were to see to it that no harm came of them, perhaps we can revisit this conversation in a more amicable way on a later night.
I am afraid I'm going to need more solid promises from you, my Claudette. Tell me, what will you do to save dear Avery?
So she knows of Avery. Now, have I told her of Avery, or did she
You
figure
have
it out?
not mentioned her name yet, no. You have never told her about Avery.
You see to it, no harm comes to her, that she stays outside of our world, in the light, lives her life. After some current obligations, I will come back to you, and we will try this sort of affair again.
I will agree to those terms, but on one condition. You are coming home with me tonight, and I want you to drink from me. It has been so long. I still remember the taste of yours, and I'm sure you still remember mine.
Claudette lapses into silence. No, not again. Never again. You ask too much a price. I had hoped that we could come to this in some fashion that benefited us both, but I see that you want nothing more than power over me, and I refuse to give it to you. Not again. Never again.
Oh, Claudette, it wounds me.
Did this count as doing something the opposite of what was expected of them?
I will say yes. This would
Thank
fulfill
you.
your compulsion of rebellion.
Well done.
Good. Claudette was she didn't like the situation, but she was really trying to come at it in some way that worked out for like both sides at least enough. But pulling out the blood bond.
Ooh.
Oh, my Claudette, I do hope she will be fine, and you will make your way back to me. You will be mine.
I have told you the surest way to do that. All other ways do not end as well for anyone involved.
Of course, my beautiful songbird. Do not worry.
And I think Colette will drink in Alexandra just a little bit more. Because that's just always a fun thing to do.
Yeah?
And then she will turn abruptly and just kind of click-clack away in those high heels. Just walk away. I do remember that we are here for a job. So I would like to... I still have heightened senses up, but after my back and forth with Alexandra, I feel like now she can finally focus on the job.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know what part of the Louvre I'm in right now, or if it's a relevant area, but if it is, can I look for any information that might be useful? Or if it's not, can I look for maybe any sort of potential egress through this room?
I will say that you will be able to do that next time we see each other, as this is where we will close our session. for tonight.